Hey guys, happy 2026 to each and every one of you. Hope everyone had a great New Year's Eve. Hope everyone had a good Christmas, like I did. I had a great New Year's Eve as well. Spent a lot of good times with my girlfriend and her family for the first time on New Year's Eve, and it was beautiful. Really beautiful. New Year's Day was great. Me and my girlfriend hung out and chilled, went out for a walk, and it was amazing. And now I'm back in my place. This is gonna be my video of the Laserdiscs that I watched in December of 2025. And we're gonna get it started with this one here, River's Edge. I picked this one up from No Man's Collective a couple years ago. Brand new factory sealed for only $4, but I opened it up because I love to open up factories. I love to open up Laserdiscs that are like factory sealed that I can watch. So I'm gonna show you the front of it. This has got a nice cover to it. Here's the back. This has Crispin Glover, Keanu Reeves, Iron Sky Leach, Roxana Zal, Daniel Roebuck, Joshua Miller, and Dennis Hopper. It's got an interesting cast to it. This movie in the beginning is about when I watched the beginning of the movie, it's about like in the beginning, this kid that was lonely, sitting on top of like the sidewalk and all stuff, playing some kind of like doll toy and all stuff, and then some kind of girly doll toy, and then he threw the doll toy to the sea, for no reason. Gets together with these fellas there who are trying to go for an adventure and, trying to, get to know each other and to seek out for themselves and all. When they were in the same location in the beginning of the movie where the kid was sitting on the sidewalk of the river, they found the same doll, the same girl doll toy that grew up. It wasn't moving by any means. Let me talk. This girl right there, she came back from the sea. She grew an inch. I don't even know the name of the name of the doll girl, but this doll came back. She grew, and they found it very strange. And this girl doll apparently that doesn't move or talk lives with Dennis Hopper, and they just want to know what's going on, and find themselves into life. And this movie is kind of sort of like a coming of age drama film, with some frills in it. Yeah, at the end of the movie, one of their friends dies in the movie and all that stuff for no reason, being injured, and somebody gets shot and all. This is a very good coming of age drama movie if you haven't seen it. I don't know if a lot of people have seen River's Edge, but If you haven't seen River's Edge, please give this one a watch soon. It's a very good movie, and I think you'll really enjoy it, man. I think you will enjoy it, guys, for the most part. So yeah, River's Edge. All right, next one we got right here. This is a movie I watched with my girlfriend back this month. Little Darlings. I picked this one up from Sith Lord Vader for only $9, which is not a bad deal. I looked at this cover and like, this cover like reminds me of like how cool, like how good this film is gonna be. And I watched it with my girlfriend and I loved it. Let me see. The stars Tatum O'Neal, Christy McNichol, which these are both actresses in the film, and it also stars Matt Dillon as well. So you can see here, Matt Dillon's in this film. But this movie is basically about these two girls that met with each other in a school bus. Like, not like school bus, like some kind of yellow bus on the way to sleepaway camp. They're going to like this like little campsite, and they like get to know each other a little bit. You know, at first it was strange, you know, for this girl to meet her and all, but you know, they start to get along very well, and they really they kind of like each other, and those girls, I will say those girls, they looked great in this film back then, in 1980 when this film was released. I think one of those girls was, I don't know if it was her, but maybe this one. She was dating Matt Dillon, he belonged in a male sleepaway camp. They're trying to get to know each other a little bit and all, and you know, she wants to be in a relationship with him. They start to have a kind of like an affair with them. Start to kind of affair with each other and all, and you know, a lot of like wholesome, happy moments in this movie that just, you know, made me smile, made me had a good time with this movie and all that stuff. There's some very funny parts in this movie I really like, and I know I don't usually nowadays, and I usually do not collect anything that's like in like 1980 or like anything 70s as far as like, you know, these films go, you know, but you know, and I know this was 1980. This could be old man to you guys in for what some way it looks to be, but you know, this is actually a really good film, and I really enjoyed this one a lot, and it is something that I really want to go back to watching again really soon, because it's just really that great of a movie. And you know, I think you all would appreciate how wholesome, happy, and funny this movie is for the most part. I'm not sure if I showed it back to it, but these are the pictures of it, as you can see here. And this is kind of pricey disc as well. Like, it goes from like, I don't know, 38 or and up and all stuff, but this movie will not disappoint you at all whatsoever. And, you know, not a lot of movies from 1980, you know, I feel like are not like happy and, you know, this awesome like this one here. This one is the best one from 1980 I've ever watched. And definitely highly recommend this one here. For these actresses and for the rest of the characters in the film, because I feel like all the characters in this movie were very likable and very, very, well, very cute. Especially the girl, especially these characters right there. They're the cutest looking characters I've ever seen in any movie. So definitely want to go back to watch this again. Little darlings. Alright, next up we got right here. We have some Apex Entertainment in the house. Habitat. I believe I got this one from shout out to Corey Blanton, Your Towel. He went to some kind of record store, and I was looking at some of the Laserdiscs that his record store had, and they had this one. I wanted to get it from him, and he said it's okay, and he sent me this one, and basically I got this one from Corey. Shout out to him, by the way. He actually wanted to watch this one, but I wanted to watch it first to see how it is. So there you go. Here's the front. This is like a very cool looking cover art here in the front, and here's the back. I believe this one has Alice Cridge, Balthazar Getty, and Tcheki Karayu. I'm gonna read the back to it. Planet Earth's worst nightmares have come true when a brilliant but obsessed scientist, Hank Sims, moves to a new town. His radical biology experiments transform a suburban house into a terrifying living creature. His plans for exhilarated evolution spiral out of control, and Symes and his family mutate as their house begins, breathing, oozing, and threatening anyone who enters. Mother Nature has never been so lethal as she takes revenge on the people who abuse her. Welcome to their living hell. So that's what this movie is basically about. This girl right there, I think it's Alice Cridge. She goes on a road trip with like his son and all. And then they move to like this house there, and Tcheki Karayu does like some kind of science work in the new house, and all of a sudden, the whole project of it explodes, and whole project explodes and turns into, and then he also, after the whole project explodes and how the house got flooded from the science project, he turns himself into some kind of person, some kind of like fairy dust person here, his character transforms into some kind of fairy dust, and then this girl here, seduces Tcheki Karayu's character, for the most part, and then she transforms into herself, like a magical kind of like creature in their house and all stuff, and their son got used to it. He doesn't like it. He thinks it's disgusting, and everything goes wrong, and all of a sudden the house just turns into kind of like a garden. For instance, like a magical garden, but with magical creatures and stuff like that. It's a really, really, really cool, dope film to check out, guys. This is some great late 90s trash that I would really highly recommend checking out as well, if y'all haven't seen it. I know this one's hard to find, but I highly recommend checking out Habitat if you haven't seen it. It is a wonderful amazing film here. You know, cool special effects in it too, and I was really impressed with some of the characters in this movie, especially this character, Alice Cridge. Her character looked beautiful and amazing in this film and how it is. So, yeah, definitely check out Habitat, guys. All right, next film, Easy Wheels. This is a low-budget 80s comedy with bicycles and motorcycles, which is a very dope idea. Show you the front, show you the back. I think this movie is basically about Paul and Matt, who he is right there. It's like with the good guys that are in some kind of biker gang, and she is like the character that belongs with like the other biker gang, which I think their biker gang is called when she was at the Woman of the Wolf. They're not so nice, and at the beginning of the movie, this girl right there goes into someone's house and takes the girl with them for the woman, from her being in the Woman of the Wolf. They took the girl away from her family and burned the house down. And all of a sudden, like, this character, Paul and Matt, who is with the good guys in a biker gang, goes after the Woman of the Wolf, and trying to, find out on what's going on and all that stuff, and, they're trying to, so... Is Iowa big enough for two biker gangs? The trouble begins when Bruce, leader of the Born Losers, meets She-Wolf, leader of the Woman of the Wolf. Bruce immediately falls for her. She's the kind of woman that makes a man write bad checks. Their courtship comes to an abrupt, and when Bruce meets She-Wolf's family, a pack of wolves, he learns that the Woman of the Wolf are kidnapping baby girls and delivering them to the wolf pack to be raised as Woman of the Wolf. Can the Born Losers stop the Woman of the Wolf? Will the Woman of the Wolf pack their blow dryers, lip gloss, and leather and leave the Midwest? Will the Born Losers ever get back to their original quest to search for a really good light beer? It's Airplane on Bikes as the Born Losers take on the Woman of the Wolf. That's the whole movie of this story here. As far as this movie goes, it's pretty good. It's kind of dope, to see a low-budget 80s comedy, to happen with bikes and motorcycles and leather jackets and stuff like that. I mean, I guess the plot, the presence of this movie is really, really amazing, and, the plot's pretty good. I would recommend this one, guys. Definitely check out Easy Wheels, sorry. So, yeah, Easy Wheels, pretty good. Alright, next one we got right here. By the way, I got Easy Wheels from Easy to Collect. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I know this one I'm going to show you guys. I got from Indonesia for, I believe, only like $15 and stuff like that. It also included with international shipping. I got this one from Laserdisc Used, which is like, he sells Laserdiscs from Indonesia. And shout out to Rizky. I got this one from him. Lower Level. Yes, this movie is Lower Level. This stars David Bradley, Elizabeth Grayson, and Jeff Yeager. 2 players, 1 building, no rules. Okay. The reason why I got this movie because The cover looks dope, but the movie looks dope too. As you can see in the back. And I watched this one, and boy, I was not disappointed by this movie. Oh my fucking god. This movie is an absolute blast. This movie is basically about Elizabeth Grayson's character, who she is so smoking hot and so beautiful. Works in some kind of like architect office building late at night. David Bradley is the security guy in the movie. He plays as a bad guy in the movie. Now, how can you see David Bradley play as a bad guy in any movies? Probably not. Because he usually plays as a good character, but he plays as like a bad character in the film, and, you know, he controls the building, he controls where people go, and he controls, you know, the machines and, you know, all the techniques in the building. But Elizabeth Grayson's character is like, she goes out of the building in the beginning of the movie, gets to her car, drives off. It's her end of her work shift at night. He ran into Jeff Yeager's character. They were talking, but as soon as the gate was closed in the building, she's like stuck in the building and wanted to leave, but she can't find her way out. So basically the building is like shut down, and like it's all trapped basically. And she goes back to the parking lot, gets to know Jeff Yeager's character. He seduces her one time in a car, and you know finds out what she does, but David Bradley is really trying to stop Elizabeth Grayson, who I think plays as Hillary. Yeah, Hillary. And that David Bradley is trying to stop Hillary, and the security guard's really trying to control the building, and a couple people left and all that stuff, and they're trying to get out. One of them wants to go to a parking lot, okay? And David Bradley's the security guard can't let her in the parking lot. They only let the man out of the exit door. But then after all that, he shot the girl that was trying to get out of the building, and Hillary is trying to get to know the security guard too as well. He planned it all for her and all that stuff, and things go wrong after that, and as he stalks her and follows her and all this stuff, and she gets revenge on him, and he's trying to save Jeff Yeager, who he is right there, seducing Hillary. And they try to, she tries to save him, and from him surviving, and trying to get out of the building and all that stuff. But the set design is good. The set design is great. The plot is amazing. The story's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if there's a story in this movie, but the characters are pretty. The characters look good, and yeah, this movie I would really highly recommend checking out, guys. If you haven't seen it, I mean, it's got a little bit of sauce. I mean, it looks kind of like an semi-educational film for the most part, but even though it's really not, even though it really doesn't feel like it that way, there is some sauce, but there's some good action to it as well. That makes the movie awesome, and that makes the movie amazing. So, if you haven't seen Lower Level, definitely check this one out. It is one movie that you will not be able to find easily on Laserdisc, so try to watch on streaming service, or, find a friend like who has seen the movie that you want to watch it with them. So, yeah, definitely check out Lower Level, guys. 10 out of 10. Awesome movie. One movie that will not disappoint you at all. Next one we got right here. I picked this one from Common Relics. Only $20. This was sealed, and I opened it up. Yes. I don't know if it was sealed, actually. But, Life Pod. And here's the front and the back. Now I had nothing to know about this film other than I saw Ty White review it, and he thinks it was pretty good, and he gives it a soft recommend. So I say to myself, let me check out that movie, and thankfully, it was very entertaining. It's a very shocking surprise to me, honestly, to say that this movie is pretty good. It's basically about these couple characters that were stuck on a ship, and they have like this life, and the life pods attached to the ship are like some kind of like aircraft ship in the space. The whole spaceship just tries to freaks out, and doesn't know what's going on and all stuff, and these couple characters getting this life pod aircraft, which is a very cool looking craft ship right there in space. So it's based, it's got some, they get this life pod, they get this thing, and they want to know where they're at and all that stuff. They need food and hydration and all, so they get some water and some food to eat and all that stuff, and that they could survive in this life pod that they're at. And it all goes well, and after that, all of a sudden, one of the guys, I think this character dies near the end of the film. One of the guys that was in this life pod kills the man, and they go after the man who killed the officer that was on the spacecraft, on the plane that was in a life pod craft in space. They tried to kill the guy that killed the officer, and try to get revenge on him, and they stop him, and he couldn't waste his time, and then one of the guys that puts some liquid metal on the guy that killed the officer, and he goes out of space and all. It is such a cool ass movie that I recommend checking it out. I know this one's on YouTube. I know it's not the trash that I expect from this film. This is sort of like a made-for-TV film, by the way, guys. Basically. But it's very entertaining. I really enjoyed it, and I had a pretty good time with this film, to be honest with you. And yeah, definitely go check out Life Pod if you haven't seen it. Laserdisc version may not be easy to find, but if you could find it on YouTube, that'll be amazing. So yeah, Life Pod. What a cool name too for that movie. Also, cool name title. All right, next one we got here. This movie I got from New York Cali. I think for $27 on his One Not Show. It was my first time also supporting New York Cali, and this is what I got from him. Street Hunter. This movie absolutely is awesome. Like, oh my god. This movie, in the beginning scene, in the beginning of the movie, it starts awesome. And it starts awesome as like Angel, who plays as John Leguizamo, like a very John Leguizamo. Meets these couple guys that were in the site where John Leguizamo and his Colombian team, his like team and all that stuff, they had an altercation with them, and they killed the guys. And Steve James, who plays amazing in this film, has like some kind of doppelfincher right there, like really cool animal, like really cool dog character that runs off and bites some kind of arm from one of John Leguizamo's team. And they arrest, Steve James, he arrests John Leguizamo. He's in jail. He gets out of jail, escapes, and gets to his team. And also Red Brown is in this film as well. He plays as a pretty good bad guy in this film, fighting off against Steve James. It's such a showdown for this movie. A lot of good stuff happening for what is going on with this movie. And yeah, if you're looking for anything, if you're looking for a fun 1980s cool trash here, with Red Brown or Steve James, or if you like Red Brown or Steve James, this movie is definitely worth watching. I tell you guys, you will not be disappointed by how awesome this film is and how badass this film really is. So, Street Hunter, highly recommended. It is worth the watch. Alright, next film we got right here. This film is kind of rare and kind of expensive, and I only paid like $4 for it from Geo from Laser Order 66. And what I'm talking about is this one here, The Baker. This is from Virgin Vision. Take a look at this cover, guys. This cover is actually kind of dope. Here's the front and the back. I believe this has the same two actors, Jeff Conaway and Richard Roundtree, which they were also in A Time to Die with Tracy Lords, and I love that movie, A Time to Die. I think A Time to Die is great. But this movie is absolutely astonishingly amazing trash. Basically, this movie is about this guy right here who is like a banker and all stuff. Like as a money solver and, collects money and all stuff. He is also a rapist. And in the beginning of the movie, when the girls goes into his hotel room and all stuff, and then one of the girls finds some kind of money that this guy has in his wallet, and then he has this crossbow, kills one of the girls in the movie after he had sex with them, and they're basically trying to stop this guy and, trying to get revenge on him after, he basically killed 3 or 4 girls that after he had sex in the movie. He also draws some kind of blood pattern, on the wall after he kills the girls. And that's some kind of cool going on. But, this movie I had a lot of fun with. What a good revenge movie this is, and if you haven't, it's something that probably won't find again for that cheap like I did, but if you haven't seen this movie, guys, I would recommend it. It's very obscure and very rare to find this on Laserdisc, and I believe actually somebody on Facebook, the private Facebook group Laserdisc Forever, some kind of guy told me that this was Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies when he used to work at a video store. I did not know that. So that was really cool for me to see. But I really enjoyed this one a lot. Had a pretty good time with it, and I definitely recommend it as well if you haven't seen it. The Banker. Alright, next film we got right here. This film I'm about to show you guys is the only way you're going to get this film is on Laserdisc and on VHS. You are not going to find this film on DVD. You won't even find a trailer of it at all to this film on YouTube. So, I'm just about to show you all what I have. I'm about to show you all what I got next. Shoot! This is known as King's Ransom. Now this film, as I saw the cover, I thought this movie was gonna be like some kind of like cool comedy and all that stuff. By the way, let me read the tagline: "The girl, the gun, and the dice are loaded." I'm gonna read it back as well. The deck is stacked against photographer Katie Tracy. Plays as Dee Dee Pfeiffer as she penetrates an underground gambling ring fronted by an exotic nightclub. The stakes are high when a private auction of the precious Emperor's Pearl attracts dangerous clientele who play for keeps when Katie gets involved with the ringleader Cameron King, who plays as Miles Keith. The action gets hot, and the stakes get higher as the con artists and con men show their hands. In a game of life or death, it's jackpot or bust for the player who walks away with the pearl. And that's how the movie goes. And this guy, like right here, works in like some kind of like nice looking club or bar, that runs the club, it's in charge of the club, head of the club and all stuff. And this girl here, Katie, is like a photographer, and she goes in some kind of club and takes pictures and shit and all stuff. And then I believe she goes in some kind of like secret like room here and finds some kind of jewelry and finds some kind of like some jewelry and all stuff. I don't know. This movie I thought it was good. It says a dangerous comedy here, and there's some kind of comedic feel to it, but I feel like this movie is like more of like a low budget crime film, kind of an action crime film, if you could say the least. There's nothing wrong with having crime in films and all stuff. I think seeing some crime in films is pretty good. But yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed this one, and I would give it a soft recommend as well if you haven't seen it. It's one you probably won't find again, but something worth to collect as well if you like collecting like obscure films and rare movies on Laserdisc like I do. So yeah. Alright, this movie I had a much more better time with this movie. By the way, I picked up from Axis 123 on eBay. Made a best offer on it. This next movie I got right here, I paid like $90 for it. This film is awesome, and I paid like only $90 for it from VHS Drew. And what I'm about to show you all is one movie I definitely highly recommend anyone seeing. Handgun. Take a look at this cover. What a cool looking dope cover. Here's the front and the back. Believe this was, shoot was from Triborough Entertainment Group. This is from Triborough Entertainment Group as well. Handgun. As I mentioned, Triborough Entertainment Group makes like some independent films and some trash. Shoot was kind of trash, but this one was like good trash for me to watch from Triborough. Like Great Trash, for instance. And this movie is basically about like this guy who gets out of the car and all stuff and robs a bank and goes after the guys in the bank. This guy Treat Williams here, who gets framed for the crime that he did not commit to, and all. He takes into custody and gets out and wants to do business with this guy here, who I believe his name was Paul Scholes. Yeah, Paul Scholes, who was a small-time con artist. He works with George, who plays as Treat Williams in this movie. He works with him, tries to get the money that Jack robbed from a bank and all. And Jack literally dies, is almost dying in the film. Some kind of mob gang and all stuff kill him, and then George and Michael go after the gang that killed Jack in the film, and showdown going on and all stuff, and they try to get revenge from the gang and all stuff, like some kind of mob gang, that want to know everything about these guys and all. It's very hard. I feel like this movie is very hard. Kind of hard for me to explain this movie, but for the most part, I really had a good time with this movie. And there's a lot of crazy action going on in the film, and a lot of good stuff, good acting, good looking characters in the movie. And yeah, if anyone hasn't seen Handgun before, I definitely highly recommend checking it out. It is such a great, fun, blasted movie to check out. I had a great time with this movie, and I had a blast watching it. So, definitely check out Handgun. It is one movie that you won't be disappointed by watching. Alright, let me read the back to this one here. Alright, next one we go right here. This one I picked up from Walter Atari a couple years back when he was doing one-night shows. I paid only $8 or something like that. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I definitely know I got it from Walter Atari on whatnot. This is not one of the greatest movies I've watched, honestly. I mean, look, it is a saucy movie by how the cover looks and how some of the pictures looked in the back and all that stuff. But this is dead on. This is the unrated version of it. It's got Matt McCoy, Sherry Shattuck, David Aykroyd, Thomas Wagner, and Tracy Scoggins. Now, this is a shame here because, this is my only Tracy Scoggins disc I own. And I really want to get more of her films on Laserdisc because I feel like her character in this movie looked so beautiful. Like, she looked like such a smoke show in this film that she looked so good in this movie. And same with this girl here, Sherry Shuddock, who I don't know her character, who plays as Erin, who plays as Erin in this movie. She looked beautiful as well. But the reason why I think this movie is not the greatest in the world, the story of it is kind of bland. The rest of the characters in the movie, excluding Tracy Scoggins' character and excluding Erin's character in this movie, are not the greatest. Matt McCoy's character, his character is very miserable. He's unlikable. He sleepwalks throughout the whole movie, and his character's not great. Basically, and I won't probably go on all about this movie, but basically, Ted, has an argument with Tracy Scoggins' character, and then he meets Erin at some kind of bar and all stuff. Tries to get to know her. They play some some kind of fair and all that stuff. And, they date with each other and all that stuff. And then he's I think Matt McCoy's character's working like an air pilot, like a pilot in some kind of airplane going on, but he quits a job. He goes on and he goes in some kind of some kind of small plane here, and then some kind of jet plane. I don't know, but this stranger who was partnered with Erin, Matt McCoy, Ted, who plays Ted, murders him in the film, in the plane, or jet, and then he goes to jail, and he wants to try to get back to liking Tracy Scoggins' character, after how Erin is playing a dangerous game with him and all stuff. She goes on, and Tracy Scoggins' character gets missing. And then, at the end of the movie, I think these two girls, Erin and Tracy Scoggins' character, they, seek out revenge for Ted, who plays some thinking it's his fault that what he did to Erin's partner was not right. And it's so confusing for me to say about this movie. Worth alone, this movie is worth watching for Tracy Scoggins' character with how she looks, and Erin's character with how she looks too as well. I think this movie is worth watching for those two characters alone, and no one else in the film. As I tell you before, Matt McCoy's character, I feel like he's the most miserable, unlikable character in the film, and I didn't think the film wasn't really that great, to be honest with you. It is hard for me to say that, you rarely see a bad movie that has good sauce in it, but I feel like this is just one of those films that has good sauce, but the whole movie of it under the sauce in this film just sucks after that. I don't know. I'm not going to recommend that one. I'm not going to recommend that one, honestly. It's worth the watch only for Tracy Scoggins and Erin, honestly. And quite frankly, I just need to get more Tracy Scott's movies on Laserdisc too, because I love her, and yeah. Her next film I got right here, I enjoyed this way better than Dead On or whatever the fuck that one was. I picked this one up from Wall to Wall Music and Video for only like $7. This movie absolutely rocks. Southern Comfort. And this guy, Power Spoof and Keith Carradine. This is an absolute early 80s classic here. Like some early 80s trash that I absolutely enjoyed and had a great time with. And this movie is basically about this group of guys that go in some kind of like redneck's forest and all stuff. They steal like some kind of redneck's bone to begin the film and goes in the trails and all stuff, and then finds these guys who are Cajun and that they speak French, or one of the guys. They want to arrest him because of what he did was what wrong things he did, and all stuff. And then goes with him and on a trail or adventure. These other rednecks here, these Cajun rednecks, I'm gonna call, get after these guys here that are trespassing their forest and their property, and I think the only two the characters that survived in this film are I think Keith Carradine's character or Powers Booth's character, I don't know, but they go into some kind of, at the near end of the film, they go into some kind of like town there, for, some kind of Cajun town. They have a good time with the music and all stuff, and like these like Cajun rednecks go after one of them, and this movie's really fun. Lots of good action in this movie. Some great actors that are in this film, and the characters in this movie are so good looking in this movie. I would definitely highly recommend checking out Southern Comfort if you haven't seen it. Really good early 80s trash here, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. Alright, next one we got right here. This one I won't go a lot about this one. Everyone knows about this film. The Santa Claus. It's one good movie that everyone needs to watch every Christmas and every year. So yeah, one movie that is worth watching for the whole entire family. And then next one we got right here. All right, this one I will say I will go on a little. I'll try to go on a little bit about this movie. I paid like $15 for it from Station 1 Books, Vintage, and Vinyl. And this movie absolutely is amazing here. Oh my God, The Unnameable. This is from H.P. Lovecraft, who I liked. Who he also, I think. Isn't he like the producer of the movie, or like the story of it? Oh yeah, the story. It's based off the story from H.P. Lovecraft, who also did the story for Reanimator as well, which is very interesting. But here's the front, here's the back. There are things on God's earth that we can't explain and we can't describe. From the depths of hell comes. This movie. It's basically about in the beginning of the movie, this man who's in some kind of like dark haunted house there in the woods. Possesses some girl in the movie, and then all of a sudden, like, some kind of random person knocks on the door. That the man that possessed the girl, he wants to know what was going on, and then he opens up and he gets murdered by this kind of like demon creature there that the girl forms into, I believe. Yeah. She murders him, and then rips his body apart and takes his heart out and all this stuff. And then these college students that were at Miskatonic University, they go into this dark, haunted house, which the house name is called Winthrop House. I gotta stop here. I gotta drink some water. Hold on. Alright, I paused. I'm sorry. I had to get some water. My throat was really dry and itching up a little bit. But these college students that were at nearby Miskatonic University, there are students there, and they go into like some kind of house that the man, Joshua Winthrop, who possessed the girl, he was the same guy they were going to the same house that he was murdered at. And they want to find some kind of like secret and like information about the house and all stuff. And then all of a sudden, this evil demon there goes after them and kills some of the students in this film. Side 2, when I watched this one, it's basically like the rest of the movie on Side 2 I watched, basically like, it gets like darker and darker in this movie. As this kind of evil demon there, that goes after them and kills them. That's what this movie's basically about. It's this movie. So what else can I say about this film? This one was so amazing. So well done. The special effects on the demon are absolutely insane. The kills are great, and I would definitely recommend anyone checking out The Unnameable, guys, if you haven't seen it. It is so good, and definitely recommend it. All right, next one we got here. I paid $11 for it on eBay. And unfortunately, this one did not blow me away. Although, shockingly, surprisingly, this is a PM Entertainment movie. Which I was very surprised that this movie was from PM Entertainment because, I didn't think this film wasn't that great. Living to Die with Wings Hauser and Darcy DeMoss, which is her right there. By the way, she's smoking hot in this movie with Wings Hauser. This movie is just basically about Wings Hauser, who is like some kind of like mob and all stuff. With these guys that are rich and they try to he plays in some kind of like casino trying to win money and all stuff, and then he goes in some kind of bar and meets this girl here who he tries to get to know her and all stuff, and then they're friends, and she seems to like him and all that stuff. And then Wings Hauser. I mean, there's some action to it as well. I mean, like only a few action scenes, but basically, this girl gets beat up by some stranger there, and then he's trying to help her, and he wants to know what's going on, and at the near end of the movie, he rides his motorcycle with all this cash there, and some guy with a shotgun kills Wings Hauser's character in the movie. Dies with all this cash on the road, and this girl here gets beat, who gets beat up, shakes some ass, and shakes her tits and all stuff. I don't know what to say about this movie, guys. I was not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of this movie. I thought it was alright, but at the same time, I thought this movie was gonna be just as great as the trailer was, because I watched the trailer of this film, on some kind of VHS opening of it, and it looked really good, but just the movie alone, I was not really impressed by it. I mean, guys, come on, it's hard to, not like a movie from PM Entertainment, that is going to be amazing, because every PM Entertainment film I watch, it's always amazing and awesome. I mean, you're not gonna like every other PM Entertainment film that you've seen, but this movie, I thought it was alright. I might want to get a chance to watch more Wings Hauser movies that are better than this one, I believe. So, yeah. I don't know if I can recommend that one, Living to Die. I mean, I don't know. Some people will like it, but it's not it for me. All right, next one we go right here. I paid, I want to say like $20 or $30 from it from Discount Laserdisc, who is a seller on LDDB. He runs his Chuck. He runs the business, and I got this one from him. This one's an amazing movie here. Tomcat Dangerous Desires. This movie's very saucy, and I love it. Oh my god. Show you the front, show you the back. This movie's basically about Richard Grieco, who gets diagnosed and all stuff. Mariam Dabo right there, who's like a scientist, puts cat's DNA in Richard Grieco's brain, and Richard Grieco is he acts like his effects and his motions are like how a cat does, and all stuff. This also has Natalie Radford as well, who is some kind of short, white, blonde haired chick in this movie that he loves as well. Not just Mariam Dabo, who he loves as well. By the way, her character name is Jackie in the movie. After Richard Grieco meets, let's see here, meets Natalie Radford, in the movie, Richard Grieco and Jackie, get into it with each other and, argue with each other, what was going on with Richard Grieco being with Natalie Radford, and then Richard Grieco, throws Jackie down to the floor at some kind of club, and then he moves on from her and gets to know Natalie Radford and all stuff. Who, by the way, she's smoking beautiful hot in the movie, and then there's a lot of good effects. There's a lot of good like motion effects from Richard Grieco in this movie that I really, really enjoyed. A lot of good sauce in it as well, and yeah, this movie I would definitely highly recommend checking it out. It's one erotic thriller, one 90s trash erotic thriller that you will not be disappointed by. It is one movie that you should definitely see. You should definitely see if you like spicy erotic thrillers or if you like erotic trash like I do. This is a really good one. Alright, next one we got right here. I paid like 15. Next one we got right here. I paid like $15 for. This is a Don the Dragon Wilson movie I'm about to show you all, called Red Sun Rising. Yes, Red Sun Rising. Here's the front. Here's the back. I'm gonna speed up a little bit quick here, because I have to eat. But this movie is basically about his name is Don's character's name is Detective Thomas Hoshino. He is in Japan, and this guy there plays as a bad guy. I can't remember his character's name. It's some kind of Yakuza's deadly. It's kind of some kind of deadly killer from Yakuza. He goes and kills Don's. He goes on and kills Thomas's characters that were in Japan with him, and he fights this guy, this killer there that tries to fight Thomas, but then he goes into California, gets to find out what was going on back then in Japan, and he he tries to stop this guy that killed Thomas's characters, and this beautiful partner who is named Terry Farrell is like a police officer or some kind of officer. He gets to know her. They're trying to get revenge on the killer now that killed that is trying to. I don't know. I won't go the whole plot of this movie, but this movie was a lot of fun. Definitely entertaining, definitely amazing, and some really good kickboxing action from Don the Dragon Wilson's film. I mean, come on, he doesn't disappoint any film I watched. So, yeah, Red Sun Rising, definitely highly recommend this film. Very underrated. Very fun as well if you haven't seen it. All right, next one we got right here. This one I paid like $3 for from Geo. Cameron's Closet. This is a horror movie, guys, that I feel like people sleep on. By the way, I got this factory sealed and I opened it because I want to watch the movie. Anyways, here's the front and the back. This movie is basically about this little boy named Cameron who lives in his father's home. The closet he is near is magical. Like, it could do anything like for the effects wise and all stuff. He talks to the closet, and then like the man there that tries to get him to go sleep here, Cameron, goes into the roof, finds something for no reason, and then he falls down. This knife there that he brought with him turns magical into standing place. He falls down the knife and he gets his head chopped by the knife and he dies. And Cameron moves into a new home with Jeez, Kim Langford and Gary Hudson, who lived together. Gary Hudson's character wants to know what's going on with the closet and how it is and how, it all. And then when he opens the closet, there's some kind of creature there. Like some kind of deadly demon or creature that is in the closet and kills Gary Hudson in the movie as he gets blown away by the closet and has his eyes burned and, dies in the movie. And then, Mel Harris and Kyle Smith, they're like some kind of detectives there. They're trying to get, Cameron to, stop all this and, stop, the demons and, the monsters in the closet, but doesn't go well. And then Cameron here, who sits in his room, some kind of ceiling fan turns on automatically. It gets up and it's trying to kill Cameron, but then he tells the fan to stop and all stuff. And in one scene in the movie, I remember. All right, I believe this guy here, I believe some kind of random guy who he was dating, Kim Langford, some kind of girl that used to live with Gary Hudson. He's in the shower. This one similar scene where Kim Langford was in the shower seducing him and then, kissing him and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, a creature, she I guess forms into some kind of creature in the shower and kills the random guy, and the glass shatters in the shower and all stuff. Dies, and Cameron's imagination doesn't see what was going on in that, and he's Cameron just isn't in a troubled place. He wants all this to stop and get it all over it and all this stuff. And Kyle Smith gets trapped in the closet, and there's this one time when he's in some kind of outer space, some kind of world, some kind of dead world from the closet that these creatures and monsters are trying to get at him and all this stuff. This is a really good movie, and some really good special effects in it as well, with the creatures and the things in the closet and all this stuff. Very well done, very entertaining, very taunting as well. And I feel like a lot more people should definitely see this movie, and even if it's a horror movie, and if it's really good like this one here. So yeah, Cameron's Closet, definitely recommend it. All right, next film we got right here. This film I picked up from Nomad's Collective last year for only $3. This is a very pricey title, one I'm about to show you guys right now, and it's kind of rare as well. Deceptions. This is Robert Davi, Harry Hamlin, and Nicolette Sheridan. Nicolette Sheridan's character, by the way, is smoking beautifully hot in this movie. She is the most gorgeous looking female character I have seen. Next to Sherry Sheddock's character and Tracy Scoggins' character in Dead On. But here's the front. Here's the back. This movie's basically about her character's name is I'm trying to find her character name, but I'm having trouble finding it. I don't know. But this girl, Nicolette Sheridan, in the beginning of the movie, is with this guy there. You know, that he goes on the plane and tries to fly somewhere. She's all alone in the house. And then when he comes back, when she sees that he's back, he's like, you know, he's like, he has some kind of bag on his face with a gun. Or like some kind, he's like a killer. And also, if he's trying to kill Nicolette Sheridan in the film, by the way. And, you know, then she gets a gun and kills him. And then she, like, gets sad. You know, thinking that it's her boyfriend that's the killer in this movie. And, you know, she couldn't believe that she killed him. You know, so she found that these detectives, Harry Hamlin and Robert Davi, who are trying to find out what happened that night and all that stuff. And, they're trying to save, at least Harry Hamlin's trying to save her life, and, you know, what was going on at that night, and trying to make her feel better and all that stuff. There's some really good sauce in this movie that I really highly enjoyed, and some really good acting as well in this movie. So, yeah, this one was really fun. I would definitely recommend checking out Deceptions if you haven't seen it. And one more thing before I put it back. I love the front cover to it a lot because it's got the black top and the bottom, but it's like got some color to it in the picture and the cover and the poster cover of the film in the front of the background cover. I think that's really dope of what Republic Pictures Home Video did back in the day when this film was released in 1990. So, yeah, definitely like what they did. Definitely like what they did in the sleeve and the cover too. All right, the last one right here we got right here. This movie I absolutely enjoyed and loved and adored so much. I paid $20 for it from Station 1. Books, Vintage, and Vinyl, about to show you all next. Dark Universe! Where nightmares come from. Let me read the back. From the darkest corner of the universe comes an alien terror with a cold-blooded mission to conquer the Earth and harvest its inhabitants as a food source. Can our world survive this nightmare from deep space? This has to be the most absolute greatest early 90s trashiest movie I have seen. And this creature right here, I think it used to be a character, Steve, who is in some kind of spaceship. He forms in this creature. And the ship's from space, like completely goes on Earth and, you know, explodes. And, you know, this film was basically taking place in an island. Like some kind of island going on with these characters that are trying to have fun with each other and, you know, camp out on the island and all stuff. You know, but this creature goes after them and, you know, kills some of the characters' names. I don't really remember, but you know, this is a fun movie. The creature effects are amazing. The acting is amazing. The set design is great. The location to it's amazing. And yeah, this is just a badass movie right here that I definitely enjoyed, and I would definitely highly recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it. It's awesome, and it is, once again, badass is what I said, for such a low budget early 90s trash movie right here. So, yeah. That's all I could say, really. Loved it. Alright, guys. That's it for the movies I reviewed in December and I've watched. Thank you, guys. Please stay tuned for my next video coming in sometime in 2026. Have a nice day, guys.